Oh, well, good morning.
Oh,
So, Andrea, Lynn, nice to meet you.
nice.
Hi, nice to
Hi,
meet you
nice to
Hi.
too.
meet you.
So, I'm Kelly Parks of Comwater's Cloud Accounting. I also have cloud accounting templates, and I have cloud accounting apps where I do app advocacy and vetting work for the accounting community. I have cloud accounting templates, which I sell templates for all kinds of workflows and SOPs for different applications and for accounting bookkeeping processes. And I do have a bookkeeping business. So I have Comwater's Cloud Accounting, lots of the word cloud in these settings. So Comwater's Cloud Accounting, where I actually have a bookkeeping practice with a book of business, but I also do project cleanups for accounting firms or SMBs that may come to me that need back work done. And Andrea, off to you. Who are you?
Oh, hi. My name is Andrea Morgan. I am the Director of Customer Success at Payment Evolution. I have been at Payment Evolution for 8 years. I started part-time and fell in love with the company and the business model and the people at Payment Evolution are absolutely incredible, and I've never worked for such a wonderful place. And I actually did not come in with a payroll background, and I got inspired to get my PCP certification and went from a very small customer success department of just myself to we now have a team of 5. And our support is rated as one of the best payroll supports out there in Canada, which we're really excited about. The company has just incredible visions.
Actually, I'm gonna jump in for a
Yeah.
second here. I will go out to you on the company culture, although I am coming in a little bit blind on Payment Evolution. You're going to do a demo for me so I can see the product. But I certainly know Dustin, who is a great, engaging, warm member of the accounting community and has been for some time. And if Dustin is there, there's got to be great reasons within your company culture. And so here we are. We're going to come back to your support channels in a second, but tell me a little bit about what it is that Payment Evolution does. What are your kind of top 3 service offerings? What do you do?
Okay, so first and foremost, we have a payroll product. So we design and create software for small to medium-sized businesses to run payroll themselves or have accountants and bookkeepers do it for them, manage payroll clients under our platform. And so it's a quick and easy tool to pay your employees accurately, on time, and in compliance with CRA regulations. It includes direct deposit, remittance services, all the things, T4s, RL1s, ROEs, all the things that you need to run a proper payroll.
What you mean is all the pain in the butt stuff.
I'm sorry?
What you really mean is all the pain in the butt stuff.
Yes. And it's mostly built on Wizards, so it just walks you through and click and you're done. And our goal.
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's built on Wizards? That's a great way to put it. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so Wizards is it's those things that prompt you. Hey, do you want to do this? This is what's going to happen. Yes, I want to do this. And you see this a lot at year end and with ROEs, that it asks you questions. You want to fill this in? This is what we see. And you say yes, no, and it fills it in for you, creates the form, sends them to CRA or to Service Canada, depending on what the form is, or Revenue Quebec for an RL1. So we are constantly building bigger and better. And one of the things that, to kind of sidetrack slightly, our payroll is actually moving into an AI product. And so we have an entire research team that is building out AI sets for things like termination assistance to be compliant with legislative standards and labor standards by province, to help somebody properly terminate somebody should they, owe money and not realize it, and kind of keep them on the good side of the law. Holiday assistance. Yeah. So we've gone from building a payroll product to help, make those administrative pain in the butt tasks, as you said, really simple so people can get back to the business of running their business.
Okay,
Um,
so I just want to repeat that. I love that you have a wizard,
mhm,
a thing to walk us through some of the stuff. I haven't used it yet. I'm looking forward to, I'm going to be migrating my own company over to Payment Evolution
great.
because I like to guinea pig everything through my own company and my husband's company. But just so, the wizard sounds like it makes it an interactive experience rather than me hoping I get it all right, all on
So
my own.
yeah, so with the RL ones, the T4s, and the ROEs, the wizards are in place. With payroll, it's
Cool.
not yet, but it's something that's coming soon. So you'll kind of get the look and feel of it if we go into any of those, and I'll show you how it works. But payroll for now, but it's so simple. It's just approve and click next, and you're done, and employees get paid. And I'll show you how easy it is to set up even the most complicated situations. will
Okay.
are
But I have another question.
Yes. Yes.
I'm interrupting. You don't just do payroll.
No. So we just
No.
talked payroll. We don't just do payroll. We also do business payments. So business payments are a feature set that we built out because what we were finding was that it was really hard to pay people who are not in that list in your online banking, right? You go into online banking, you pay Rogers, you pay Bell, you pay Hydro, but what about the other people that you pay? What about all those other small and medium-sized businesses across Canada that you can't pay? So what we did was we created a business payments module. It connects to 3 different accounting softwares. There's Xero, QBO, and Cashew. And it takes your invoices in from any of those connected services, and it posts them, and you put in the information and it pays them just like you pay employees via direct deposit. The cool part about it is it auto reconciles back to the accounting software. So if you have 3 different people in your QBO or in your Xero, and somebody's going, oh, do I have to write a check? Nope, you can see it in real time that this has already been paid, and it shows you exactly how it's been paid. And I'm going to show you a quick video of that.
Okay.
um
Cool.
to-
Now I had a question. Where did my question go? Uh, oh yeah. What is the payroll part? What platforms does that integrate with?
so the payroll platform integrates also with the 3 I mentioned: QBO, Cashew, Zero,
Right.
also QuickBooks Desktop, also NetSuite, and Sage Cloud Accounting,
And FreshBooks, no?
and FreshBooks. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's a lot.
Okay. It is a lot. And so the QuickBooks Desktop would be through the web connector for those that are
They're
playing along.
the IIF files. So our
Yeah.
system will generate an IIF file, and it can be uploaded then into QuickBooks Desktop. I will be very honest and tell you, it is my least favorite of the connections.
Okay.
We are a cloud-based company, and it's such a smooth integration with any of the cloud-based accounting softwares.
Sure.
Whereas it's potentially, that those IIF files are so picky, and that your settings have to be perfect in order for it to work.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So that's great. We don't need to go down that road. The QuickBooks Desktop, any of the desktop programs, it's hard to run an integration with them.
Yeah.
So I hear you, but it's a manual process with the desktop. But it is a natural or a API integration with the cloud-based programs.
Correct.
And so again, you've got quite a host of them. So QuickBooks, QBO, Xero, FreshBooks, Cashew. Cool. Okay.
And
Great.
NetSuite.
And NetSuite. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So now you have a third product offering.
We do. Our third product offering is employee benefits. And this is something that we started a couple of years ago because we really wanted to make sure that employees, your most valuable asset, your employees, have the best experience possible. So we made payroll really easy, and we made sure that they got paid accurately and on time. But especially in this day and age, the ability to attract and retain better employees is so critical for any business. And, this came up a couple of years ago where we said, we need to offer more. And so we offer employee benefit packages. And one of the really cool things, in certain provinces, we actually have an online tool where somebody can calculate how much, get 3 separate quotes for benefits right on screen. They can do it right within our platform. I believe it's available to customers in BC and Ontario. And if not, then we have a full benefits team who are happy to work with you, provide you those 3 different quotes, get you the best rates possible. And I've seen just some really incredible work that they've done with companies that actually already have benefits, but are looking for something different or better. And what we've been able to do is get them better rates for better services. And
So what, and I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I'm a little excited.
okay.
So what kind of benefits would that offer?
So right now we're looking at kind of those health benefits, health, dental, life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment, disability, all sorts of things in that realm. But there's also healthcare spending accounts, wellness
Oh, there is.
accounts.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
So the,
Absolutely.
okay. Yep.
So, anything that you want to pay for your employees' gym membership as part of your wellness account, you can do that. And you can choose how much or how little you want to do. But more and more we are seeing it that employees, like, we know about the great exodus of employees these days. Having those benefit packages really makes such a difference in what you can do for attracting and retaining those employees, keeping them happy and keeping them at your workplace, because we know it's hard to train a new person.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's a really nice. I won't even call it a side hustle offering, but uh, a, a sister offering. Tell me about your support.
Okay, our support is so I run our support department. I have very high standards for what our support should be. And we we offer some of the best support that you will see of any payroll company. We hear it day in and day out from customers who've moved over, who left and came back,
Can I ask
because
you a question?
yeah,
Can I call somebody at Payment Evolution? There's
sure.
telephone
Of
support, isn't there?
course. Of course.
Okay, cool.
100%. So it's interesting how support has evolved in the last kind of 5 years, and lots of companies offer like chatbot support and things like that. We don't actually do that because I personally find that extremely frustrating. I don't ever want to talk to a chatbot. I never get an answer that I want. It always gives me the wrong answer.
Uh,
So phone support, email support. Sometimes we're busy and our phones are ringing like crazy, and so you might get put on hold for a little while before you get to somebody, but you will always get to somebody. If you leave a message, somebody will always call you back.
can I make a suggestion? Can you have,
Yes.
those callbacks where somebody can call you back once it's your turn?
Yes, yes. And that is something that I've actually asked for, and it is being worked on right now. So we don't
Okay,
have that
cool.
option right now, but I do love that option. I also love the option for a queue. I called a company once, and it told me, what number I was in line
Yeah.
and how long I could expect to wait. And it updated me every couple of minutes. Hey, you're now number 23,
Yeah.
and it's going to
Switch
be
Health
7
did
minutes.
that. For the COVID testing, when you came back into Canada, you got randomly chosen every
Right.
single time. Not that that was me, but it would tell you where you were in the queue. It was a great feature of it. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
away from COVID,
Okay.
back to Payment
Back to Payment
Evolution.
Evolution. So our support.
Right.
Our support is available 9 to 5 across the country via email, 9 to 5 Eastern via phone. And so you get email support up until 5 p.m. in BC.
Okay, good. I was going to ask that.
But our current phone support stops at 5 p.m. Eastern. That doesn't mean that there isn't always room for improvement as we continue to grow and get more team members. We have some very specific mandates on how we work with customers. We do things. A big thing in my world is setting expectations. If we know that this is going to take some time, we're gonna communicate that. We're going to make sure that we're going to follow up when we say we're going to. We are going to make every customer feel heard and valued, and each one of those things is a part of every single interaction that we have. And we take customer feedback very seriously. I actually love it when somebody gives me bad feedback. I had a bad experience because I call them and I say, "What happened?" And they tell me, and it gives me an opportunity to either clarify with them as
Mhm.
to, I think that this was a misunderstanding, and but I hear you. Or it gives me an opportunity to work with my team. And I always say, if I don't know, I can't do anything about something. But if I know, I'm going to do something about it. And once a week we read through customer feedback. We have a morning meeting every month, every week, and I read customer feedback, good and bad. And we look at how we can improve, and we look at the things that we're doing well, and we look at how we can continue doing those.
I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback from somebody that I was chatting with recently who uses Payment Evolution. So his
Sure.
name is Spencer, but I'm not going to bust him out any more than that.
Okay.
He thinks the world of you guys
Mm.
because I don't take associating myself with app partners lightly. You didn't fill it out, but Dustin did. I think he would agree that that's a pretty comprehensive form that he had. Type form, yay, type form. A pretty comprehensive form that he had to fill out to get us to this stage where how long's the company been around? What problems are you solving? What's your support look like? What's your coworkers look like? Are they feline? Like, what are you going to do to sustain? We don't want to be use you as a payroll partner and then you're gone, right? All kinds of things. So, but aside from that, I like to chat with a few people who are using the product, and yeah, Spencer thinks the world of you guys. We're actually having a get together to run through some of the things he really likes. So, kudos to you. Support is awesome. How long have you guys been around?
So I'm going to say that I don't have an exact number. I'm going to say around 15 years. I believe we launched our initial product 10 years ago. As I mentioned, I've been there for 8 years. So I was one of the first people that was hired. We were really small. We were a small startup, and we just wanted to help those people who were just like us, kind of run a business instead of doing admin. And it's just grown from there. So
Right. So you're not new to the scene.
no,
Yeah. Okay,
no, we're
cool.
not.
No. Would you like to do a product demo?
I would
And
love
where do we
to.
start? I mean, you got some fun stuff, but you know how to run your demo. So let's do a demo of the product.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen,
Okay.
and I am going to do what I wanted to do for you today. There we go.
And for anybody playing along, I don't know the Payment Evolution product. I know about the company itself. I know about the reviews on the product. I have spoken to a few people who are using it. So this is a cold demo for me, which is always exciting. So carry on, Andrea,
Okay.
let's see.
Awesome. Thank you. So Kelly, I'm going to take you through our Evolve product today because I know a lot of your viewers are accountants and bookkeepers. And so I wanted to showcase our Evolve product, and then I'm going to take you through a payroll itself and showcase some of the features within Payment Evolution. Once we're done with that, we're going to have a quick look at a video on business payments. Because I'm using a live account, I can't be using a live bank account. So
Right.
I do have a pre-recorded video for the business payments, and we can talk about anything you want to along the way.
Sure. So in Payment Evolution,
Mhm.
there is Evolve, it looks like. And what is that?
So Evolve is our client management studio. This is specifically for accountants and bookkeepers. So typically when we have accountants and bookkeepers who have more than 10 payroll clients, they might want to start considering Evolve. And the major differences between Evolve and our basic platforms for accountant and bookkeepers is our basic platform is simply a single login, and they just have a list of their companies. Evolve lets them do a lot more. And so I'm going to run you through some of the things that they can do in Evolve, and then we'll go into a specific client and we'll have a look around.
Okay.
So So when I log into my Evolve dashboard, I have a series of what are called tiles. And what they do is they tell me what's going on with my individual clients. I've got some good data on their last pay run. I've got a full client list. I can expand it and look at the whole thing. I can do some quick actions. I can go into the client. I can run a payroll. I can pay an invoice. It'll take me right to business payments. I can manage employees. I can go to reports or I can edit them. When I moved it,
Can I add or take away things in that dashboard? What do you
no,
call it? The tiles?
the tiles. So you mean the quick action menus? No, you can't.
No. Oh, I didn't explain that very
Oh,
well.
okay.
So let's roll up a little bit and I
Okay.
can see all the companies and I can see the contact, the email accessed. Can I add a phone number or a business number or anything so that it's right on that front facing screen?
So the information that's on the front facing screen is static.
Okay.
So you can't add anything, but I'm going to show you something really cool that is available only to Evolve clients that could help you if with any requests that you had. The next piece down on my Evolve dashboard is my usage report. And unfortunately, I have a bug in my specific account on this, but what it does is it tells me, I have to open it up to show you, it tells me what each client is costing me. I know what's going on in my account because my clients are, accumulating fees throughout. So I have a standard set that I'm going to pay. But what this does is it shows it to me by client, by date, and I can filter and sort and search and do all the things that I need to do, export it into Excel. So I can have a really good pulse on what my monthly bill is going to be.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then.
Yeah,
The client can't pay for it directly.
correct.
So payment evolution, I pay for the services and bill my client.
Correct.
Got you.
Correct. And the kind of reasoning behind that is we always expect that you're going to upsell because you have a service and you are not providing just payroll. You are providing your expertise, your knowledge, your handholding, whatever your client requires. And so we bill you, you bill your client. Now, this is something that some accountants and bookkeepers have asked for direct billing to clients. It is something that we're working on. It's just not available yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you.
My audit log, another great feature set, tells me who did what. And there's a whole variety of things in here when I say who did what. So I mentioned on our basic accountant dashboard that's not Evolve, there's a single login. And that means that if you have 3 people at your company running payroll for your clients, they all share a login. This is not ideal. Obviously, we want to be able to tag who did what, and you can do that in Evolve and you can track every single change that's made.
Is there a charge to have Evolve?
Yes, there is a platform fee and it varies depending on the level of Evolve that you sign up for.
Okay.
The last thing I'm going to show you on just this page is our product feedback. So you mentioned, hey, I want to be able to decide what goes into my chart, my grid, and the product feedback. So if we look at what a non-Evolve client does when they have a suggestion, an improvement, a feature request, any of those things, it goes into support. And they'll get a standard response from support. Support will analyze it. Then it gets sent over to me and I'll analyze it. I'll see whether it's viable, things like that. And then it gets put into the development pipeline. The difference here is this goes straight into the development channel. So we don't touch it. We don't make a decision on it. We know that if it's coming from an Evolve client, it's valid. And it's, it's a great idea. There are, feature sets that are coming in that are going to allow you to upvote. So somebody puts in I have a feature request for this, and people can go, yes, I want that. Yes, I want that. And really set the priority of it. So you actually have a hand in designing each version of the product. The last thing on this page, it's not a tile.
Can I ask what's, okay, so on the left-hand side, when you're scrolling up, okay, got it.
Those are all my clients.
I figured that's what it was, but it never hurts to ask, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So these are all my clients over here, and it's just a matter, and I can pin this out if I want to. It's just a matter of how I want to work with the dashboard, what makes the most sense for me. Yep. So the last feature set that's available on the Evolve dashboard, and it'll depend on the Evolve level, what you get out of it, but it's the ability to add users. And this is where you get that tracking of each individual person who logged in and did something. And so it allows you, and I can show you, some of the information. So I
Okay.
can set a person to different clients
Got
and
ya.
different user levels. And
So what could I use that if I have a client that somebody internally does, let's say the hourly payroll runs? I
so
could bring in a
you,
client,
you could,
right?
but you don't want to bring them into Evolve. In that case, you're going to bring them
Ah,
into Payment Evolution
oh, I got you.
because
Okay.
they're an employee in Payment Evolution. This is for your employees. As the
Okay, got you.
accountant bookkeeper, these are the people in your firm. And again, depending on your Evolve level, you can assign them access to certain companies and different permission levels by company. Oh, I picked a user that had
That's okay. I
no
see what you mean.
permissions.
Yep.
Um,
That's funny, of course.
but what you can essentially do now, I can change it and set them over here and say, no, I want this person to have master access to these companies, or, unselect all and just select, oh, I want them to have master access to these three.
Got
And
you.
that,
Okay.
and that way I can log and I can track on my audit log who logged into that company, who changed those employees' bank details, who ran the payroll that just cost me way more money than I was expecting because they ran 10 individual payrolls,
Got you.
and did this, that, or the other. Having a better idea of what your team members are doing and have that traceability protects you as the accountant or bookkeeper, and keeps it out of your hands, that you can feel really safe. Okay, this person only has access to these three. We have lots of Evolve client users who put their personal email or their personal payroll under this account and just don't give anybody else access to it. And
Got
so
you.
it allows
Okay.
them to manage it just directly from under there. Okay. So I'm going to go into a client, and let's see what it looks like in the client dashboard.
You don't have to have Evolve to be an accountant using Payment Evolution, correct?
Correct. But
Okay.
you do lose a lot of these feature sets
Right.
that users, the audit log, the usage report, all of it is so valuable. That's why we say about 10 payroll clients seems to be a good point to start thinking about Evolve.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask that question. Like who would be the ideal
Yeah.
fit for Evolve? Okay. About 10. Makes
About
sense.
10. Yeah. So what we have, I've gone into my client. This is my individual client within Evolve, and I've got a little bit more information on their last payroll. Again, I can do those quick actions. And what I really love in the client is the audit log, because just earlier today, I went in and I updated an employee's bank details, and it tells me that I went and modified the employee, and I changed how an employee I changed her hire date. And again, it tells me how I did it. And if I go deep, it tells me who I was. This is me. I'm the master. I'm the
Yeah.
master of this account. And had it been one of my users, it would have told me that. It would have told me who logged in and did this, perform this job.
Got you.
Um,
Okay.
and so really getting that data is really just valuable to you. So I'm going to go into Payment Evolution, and I am going to showcase some of the feature sets that are in there that are available to you. Okay, awesome. All right, I'm in.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to my home screen to show you around, because I've got quick actions. The idea is I really already know how to use this. But let's go to our homepage. So on our homepage, Payment Evolution, we've got a couple of things happening. We've got a nice visual representation of what our most recent payrolls look like. We've got some of our most recent blog posts, a quick link to business payments and benefits. I can switch to any client I have in here, so I don't have to go back to Evolve. If I'm in payroll mode and I'm running payroll for 5 clients, I can switch from one to the next. On my left-hand panel, I've got my my little navigation window. It's my home button, my run payroll, my actions. That's where I'm going to close my remittance period or do my year ends, my reports, my employees, and my company settings at the bottom. I'm
Okay.
going to do a quick overview of company settings because there's a piece in here that's really important for your customers to understand, because it's one of the things that makes Payment Evolution actually very unique in the payroll world. Our company profiles, just kind of our company settings, it's our CRA number, our email address, all that good stuff. It's also where we set up our bank for direct deposits. So we get that going. Our payroll options is where we kind of set up some of our settings, connect to our accounting software, and just get some basic default settings that make setting up employees really easily.
Right.
Additionally, there's PIN options in there. So if you wanted to set up a PIN for your client, so let's say you ran payroll for your client, they go in and look at the payroll and put in the PIN to finalize it. That means they're the one that pushes the
Oh, okay.
last piece to move the money. You don't have access to change the PIN, only they can change the PIN.
So how does the notification go out to them that it's ready for them?
Great question. Currently don't have a notification. So it would simply be you send them a note, hey,
Got ya.
go finish your payroll. But great suggestion. We've had it before. I believe it's already in our pipeline for building, but if you're an Evolve client, add it to that product feedback tool.
Okay.
Okay. The part I really wanted to showcase today was our pay rules. This is one of the feature sets that makes Payment Evolution very unique. What our pay rules does is it allows you to basically create anything and run it automatically through payroll. And the idea is rules are broken up into these 5 sections that you see on screen. So deductions, anything you take from employees; benefits, anything you give to the employees for their personal use; earnings, anything you pay the employees for the work that they do; company rules are related to EHT and CNESST and HSF in Quebec; and then vacation. And the idea behind these rule sets is that you set up a rule for a company, you set the taxability, and then you apply it individually to employees.
Oh, okay.
And
I was going to ask that. Okay.
so the idea is, I have 2 RRSPs set up here. They will always reduce taxable gross. There is no question about what they will do. They will always reduce taxable gross. But one employee might be putting in $50 and another employee might be putting in $100.
Right.
And once you set these rules and you can create the different taxable implications, you could also add whether they're cash or non-cash, T4 boxes, provincial box for RL1s. All of these settings are company-wide and you apply them individually to employees. And once a customer really understand how this rule system works, they realize that they can create almost anything. So
Okay.
it really is pretty unique. So we've seen deductions. I'll jump over to benefits really quickly. The last feature set that you'll see in benefits is that you can make it subject to vacation. There are certain benefits that are subject to vacation calculations. And so you can add that in here and it will calculate as part of your payroll. I've added a gym membership, an RRSP, and a car allowance. You'll notice that the gym membership is set to non-cash. And so I have that ability to say, I'm going to pay the gym directly for you rather than giving you the money, but it's still a taxable benefit to you.
Right.
Oh, and I set it as non-cash and I didn't uncheck EI bad B. Let's fix that.
Okay.
Okay. Earnings, you have the same settings, except you can now add something called occasional earnings. This means it's subject to bonus tax method. So our system properly does bonus tax method in items that are taxable as bonus tax method. And simply you do that just by creating them as occasional earnings, saying these don't happen all the time. These are one-offs. So it really does have the ability to create anything that you want. Same thing with vacation. Our system is preset with 4%, 6%, and 8%, the legislative amounts across Canada. And you have the option for each one to accrue it or release it each pay. And what you could do though, let's say somebody gets 10% vacation. Let's say they have 4 weeks or 5 weeks. They have 5 weeks vacation. You want to set up 10%. It's really simple. You just add it and you apply it to
Oh,
that
okay.
employee.
Great.
And once you add it here, once you kind of set up these settings, you can add them to any employee that you want.
Can I see company rules?
Yeah.
Did we go to
Yeah.
company rules?
No, it's not very exciting. So this is the ability to set up EHT.
I'm
So
sorry. I like the way you said that, Andrea. Like anything about payroll is exciting.
oh, it's all exciting.
Okay. Okay, so company rules, gotcha.
So company rules, it's where you, depending on where the company is located, different rules will show up.
Right,
You
okay.
might not have it. If your company's in Alberta, you won't have anything because there is no EHT or those Quebec company rules that are required. So if you're in BC, Ontario, you'll see EHT. If you're in Quebec, you'll see HSF and CNESST.
Okay, and I should qualify at this point. Payment evolution is for Canadians.
Correct.
Correct. So let's just qualify for Canadians.
Yes.
Okay, we can carry on.
Payment evolution is for paying Canadian employees. We have a large number of clients who are actually in the US, but have Canadian employees and need to pay them. So it's for Canadian employees to be paid. It doesn't have to be a Canadian company.
Okay, good qualifier. Okay, great.
Okay, awesome. Our last feature set here is our add-ons. This is where we're going to connect our Xero or QBO, our QuickBooks Time, because it does integrate with QuickBooks Time as well, FreshBooks, all of those integrations that are available. And then it'll walk us through the setup so that what it does is when you run payroll, it sends the GL over to the accounting program so that you can work with it over there and not have to do a manual post.
What does it send it over as? A journal entry?
Depends on the accounting software. So each one is different. So QBO sends it over as a journal entry. Xero sends it over as a bill. Cashew sends it over also as a bill or an invoice. FreshBooks does it as an invoice. So it depends on the accounting software. So when each integration was built with the developers of the other program, and they decided how they wanted it to land.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks for qualifying.
Absolutely. Any questions so far?
No.
Cool. All right. I'm going to go home. I'm actually going to, I'm going to go over to my employees. I should have gone there. So let's look at what employees look like and how we set up some of these rules for employees. So adding an employee is really simple. You can say add member and you can select employee, contractor, construction contractor, and move forward from there. So let's add a contractor because I've added a couple employees. This one's make it really simple. And let's do Kelly, and I'm going to change your name slightly just to be nice. And we'll put in a nice little email. Typically, we're going to invite them to enter their phone number and their address so they can go, the employee can then go log in, get excited about using Paychecker.
Hallelujah. I don't have to put in their address and phone number and stuff. They do that.
Correct. Correct.
Awesome.
So they're invited to by Paychecker to come fill in their information and gotcha. And create their account because Paychecker is where they're going to get their tax slips, their pay slips. All of that is going to be here. There's no emailing. There's no nothing. They'll get a notification when they're there and they can go log in and look themselves.
Okay, great.
So I'm not going to invite now because I used a fake email, but you know,
do we have to enter the social insurance number or can they?
No, you have to enter the social insurance number. Okay. Typically, as an employer, it's your responsibility to validate this information because you want to make sure that it's correct. And so we do ask you to enter your social insurance number.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to say they make $20 an hour and they're biweekly and they work 20 hours a week.
Work 20 hours a week.
Me too. I have the ability to enter year to date. So if I'm moving partway through the year, I can do a quick entry of my year to dates and say, hey, this is how much I paid this employee this year. That way, when we run payroll, T4s, T4As will be accurate at the end of the year.
Can I see the yes?
Sure.
Can we just click yes? Just since I'm about to do this, right?
Yeah. So it's going to show me a basic version. It's only going to show me a couple of things, but if I have more than the basic, it's going to show me a full pay slip. And I simply go, okay, my hours are 50, my regular earnings are 5. Can't see what I typed. Oh, I typed a 0. They didn't make 0. Okay, they got 5,000. This is a contractor, so I'm not going to put in any taxes, and they also don't get any benefits in this sense, but I can edit any of these fields as needed. Okay. Now,
so can we go back? So
yeah.
hours, but I can enter amount, right? Year-to-date amount. It doesn't have to be hours, correct?
Yeah. So the year-to-date amount would be under the earnings.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So the hours would just be the hours.
Yep. Okay. I missed a beat there.
Nope, that's okay.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm just making sure.
There is an additional feature set when you're on an Evolve plan that you can upload this via CSV. So you can create a CSV and upload the entire file.
Can you upload multiple employees or one at a time?
No, all of them. All of them. And we actually have a couple of different options. So you can upload the employees with like their address and all that stuff, filled in, their bank details, everything. And you could upload just that. And then at a later date, let's say you're about to switch, but you're going to run your last payroll in your current provider, you can upload just a YTD report.
Okay.
And it will, and so you can do it separately. So if you've just run your last payroll and you've got all your data, you're ready to upload, great, do it as one. You can also do it as 2 if you need that little bit extra time.
Okay, great.
Okay, and then I can add benefits if I wanted to. I would select them. See, I've got my gym membership, my car allowance. I'm going to give this guy a car allowance. I'm not going to give him any deductions. Again, it's a contractor, so I'm going to skip through that. And no vacation details because they're a contractor. And now when I'm done, I can add my payments. If I wanted to add anything else or go into that employee profile, add another, go back to the list. Basically, that initial setup is there so that we can just you could run payroll right now with the information that you've input after, once you select on bank details. Let's have a quick look at one of the employees that I've set up already as an employee.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said as long as we have the bank details in, is there the option to not pay them by direct deposit?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. You absolutely have a choice to pay employees any way you choose.
Okay.
Payment Evolution is not a check issuing company. So if you choose check on the payroll when you're running it, or if you set this person to check, it simply means that you are responsible to pay them. You can pay them in e-transfer, cash, gold. We don't care as long as you pay them.
Right. Okay. Crypto. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Crypto. Exactly. Although I don't think that's a good call right now.
Don't think so.
Anyway, so I've got my employee set up. I can see their different information. Now you mentioned that you might want to put somebody within an individual client as somebody who could enter time. Well, on my employee access page, I have an access level option and I can give them different levels of access as an employee within a company. So the difference is when you have somebody in your Evolve account as a user, they have access to the client accounts. When you've got somebody within a company, they only have access to the feature sets within that company that you have given them access to. So you might want to give them timekeeper access. That means that all they can do is enter time for time-based employees. They can't do anything else. A timesheet manager can manage all of the work for the time-based employees only. And what the difference is the timekeeper can't see any rates. They can't add additional earnings. They can't put a bonus in. They can't do anything like that. Whereas the timesheet manager can, and they can see rates. So it really just depends on the level of access you want to give them, but there's lots of choices.
Okay.
The payroll manager can run payroll for everybody, can't change any of those company settings or any company bank details or anything like that.
Okay.
So there's, again, lots of choices. So this all came in. This is just some of my employee information. My payroll, this is where I've got all my details. I'm salaried, I'm getting $50,000 a year, my province of employment, my vacation settings, if I have vacation owing.
I have a question again.
Yeah.
Oh, There's a hand on me. There we go. Out of the way. So I can have a number of different types of payroll runs, right? Like I could have salaried once a month for one group, bi-weekly salary, and I could have hourly going.
Yeah.
Not that I have a client with that or anything.
Yeah, you can I would always say try and run your same payroll frequency at the same time, right? So you can have salaried and time-based that are both biweekly.
Right.
But if you have, let's say, a semi-monthly time-based, but a monthly salary, absolutely, you can set those different employees up and you just run those different payroll cycles. And the cool thing is you will never make a mistake as long as your employees are set up right. Because when you run that monthly payroll, only the monthly payroll employees get pulled in. So you don't accidentally pay somebody who's not
Okay.
supposed to be paid.
Okay.
Okay. Vacation bank is available. So if you have vacation accrued for an employee, add it in. You can set GL account codes for groups of employees. So I like to call this departmentalizing. So you've got your sales team and your admin team and
Okay.
whoever else. And when you're integrated with an accounting software, you can map each of those individual groups. So my sales team goes to sales team expense and my admin team goes to admin team expense. And
Nice.
so you can map each of those individually, or if you're posting manually, it'll simply give you the report on it. So I'm going to show you some of the benefits and deductions that I have set up for this employee, just so you can get an understanding of what's going to happen when we run the payroll. So this employee gets a company RRSP. So I have this actually set up as a benefit and a deduction, and there's a reason for that because you need it to land on the T4. So creating it as a benefit deduction will force it to land on the T4, but defer the taxes for now. So the company RRSP, the benefit, the deduction are both $100. We're not going to see it change the taxable income at all. But the employee portion that they put in, we're going to see the taxable income go down by $50.
Okay.
Okay. Additionally, on the benefits, what we're going to see, so we've got this group, this company RRSP, so they're going to offset each other. We're not going to see much, but we'll see it there. But they have additional $200 in taxable income. And so we're going to see that. So basically what we're going to see based on the rules that I've set up is an increase in taxable income by $150. So we're going to increase it by 200, decrease it by 50, and we're not going to actually do anything in the pay run. It's just going to do it itself. My payment details, really straightforward. My last piece is I've got my year-to-date pay slip. That was the same one that looks like when we first entered for the employee, but now we're just adding to it. I've got details about their pay runs and their EI history as run through Payment Evolution. Now, Kelly, for you, if you're switching over to Payment Evolution, I always recommend when somebody's switching, send ROEs in for your current payroll service that you're using. Send ROEs to Service Canada. You're going to use the reason code as changing payroll providers.
Oh.
What will happen at that point is your Service Canada will store those ROEs as interim. Because anytime you start with a new payroll software, you only have an option to enter data in bulk, not in a per pay run format. And we know that block 15C on your ROE wants that per pay run format. And so to avoid having to do that manually, should you terminate somebody, issue the ROEs, changing payroll providers, Service Canada stores them. Then if you terminate somebody in your new program, be it Payment Evolution or any other one, it allows you to just send a second one, and Service Canada will combine the two.
Okay, you know what? That's really good to know. I suck at payroll. I shouldn't be doing payroll. I mean, I'm fine. Nobody's like, we're compliant. I'm running payroll. If I have a question, I ask about payroll, but I am certainly not a payroll expert. I'm running a couple right now in the interim while clients I'm running two, so that clients are still trying to find people for this. I frankly would not have done that ROE piece.
Okay. Okay. Well, good.
So
Hopefully whoever's watching this gets a tip out of that as well. It
yeah,
was
I hadn't heard that, but I will say I'm not knee deep in payroll. So probably if some of my friends are watching this who do payroll, and I'm not assuming my friends are going to be watching it, but let's say a friend watches and she goes, Kelly, are you a complete dumbass? Of course you run an ROE. I'm going to say I didn't know that. And I'm sure there are some people like me who are running payroll who may not have known that either.
right.
So,
Right.
okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, great. It's a great little tip, saves you
Thank
tons
you.
of time in the future. Absolutely. I know we're kind of getting short on time, so I'm going to move over
Yep.
and run some payroll,
Right.
and show you how easy it is. So,
I'm not running off at the end of the hour, by the way. I'm a little excited. Let's try not to go over too much
Okay.
for the sake of anybody who's watching it. But
Okay.
I'm not like hitting the exit button at
Okay.
at 11 o'clock. Okay.
Okay. So on my start page, I had
Oh, I want to date stamp this. I forgot to date stamp this. It'll
Was
show when I upload it anyways, but it is June 17th, 2022. Carry
June
on.
17th, 2022. So when I go to run payroll, I'm going to select my employee payment dates. I have a regular run or a special run. My regular run is my regular payroll. My special run is my employee just called and they said I forgot to add 10 hours that
Right.
they worked, and I'm going to run a special run for the same time period, pay them the 10 hours.
Right.
And the cool thing that it's going to do is it's not going to take the CPP exemption again because they already got it on the first run.
Okay.
Okay.
That is great to know because I had kind of a peer review based on that very thing last year.
Okay.
We were fine. It was a small amount, and I said I'm not a payroll expert, so I had missed that exemption. The program didn't pick up that piece. So, and I have a client who does a lot of special payroll runs. Okay.
Okay. And
Special payroll run. What does that look like in the drop down?
It looks it's the exact same as a regular payroll. It just doesn't take the CPP exemption.
Okay, and it's called special.
It's called special. So you
because
see
it's
it right
very
here.
special.
Because it's very special.
Okay.
So off cycle. Now for your case, just in case, we do have a peer report that we suggest that you run prior to your last payroll of the year. And you do need to collect some data for it because there's things that we can't know.
Right.
But you can run a peer report and do any corrections you need to before the last payroll run, so that
that's fantastic. And I love that it's before the last payroll run.
Yep.
So that fix her up right smartly, right?
Yep. Like before you get to CRA.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we can run a peer review right there, just nice and one little button, fun.
Yep. And you could also do it before you terminate somebody. So if you're doing their last run and you want to make sure that they don't owe any CPP, EI, you don't owe them anything. Again, you can't fix it if they're gone.
Right. Okay.
In their, on their T4. So it could be something that you use right before you terminate somebody as well.
Got you.
Okay, so here's my small wizard. I'm going to approve this employee. This is my salaried employee. I'm going to approve him for pay. You see he turns green. I see that he's approved down here.
Okay, so this would be where there might be 30 of them.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I am going to add, let's say I'm going to give him a bonus. Let's see, he got a bonus of $1,000.
Yeah.
And he got let's do some retroactive pay as well.
Okay. And
I've paid this employee a couple extra payments. I'm going to move on to my timesheet employee, so it brings me up at salaried and then timesheets. My time-based employee. So I've got my time-based employee here. I've got two of them. It auto populates on a daily schedule. I can set this so it always looks like this, and I just enter a total number of hours. I can change them and update, and
I'm going to need to make more per hour. I got dogs to support here. I got two Aussies to support.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. Okay.
How's that? Okay. You're only working 40 hours bi-weekly. So,
okay. All right.
Is that better? No, let's see.
Okay. We're good.
Okay. There we go. Expertise. Well, the expertise is worth every penny.
So what's the difference between save? I can come back to it.
Save means, okay, so approve means I want to pay them.
Right.
Save means I've made a change after approving them. So if I changed your rate at this point to say, oh, you got demoted, if I didn't save it, it wouldn't stay. But we'll leave you where you were.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. When I go to calculate, it is going to give me the option to use my company defaults, all those rules that I have set up, or no, use custom calculations. And so if I use custom calculations, let's go back to that special run that I did for that employee with 10 hours I missed. I'm going to use custom calculations in that instance, because I want to turn off the gym membership and the RRSPs because we did that
Oh, okay.
already in the regular run. So I'm just going to turn those off in my special, but we're doing a regular, so we're going to do that now.
Okay.
So we're going to calculate. So you'll notice I didn't do anything special with my employee who got the RRSP and the gym membership. I didn't do anything special to him in the pay run. I ran payroll for him just like I ran it for everybody else. But I'm going to open him up and have a look, and we'll notice that my gross pay. So I've got my regular earnings plus my bonus and my retroactive pay. That's my gross pay. And my taxable income is exactly $150 more. That's because I have $100 gym membership, $100 car allowance, increasing it by $200, and $50 RRSP, decreasing it.
Can we slide up? This is per employee.
This is per employee. So I can review per employee. Now I can download the journal and review them all. But for this employee, I didn't do anything different. And all of those tax implications that I put in just did their thing. They just runs through. I can review any employee I want to from the drop down, from the review page, or from the journal itself.
Okay. And all employees at once, can we do that?
So I can't, it'll take me just to this grid for all employees.
Okay.
To
So
see
it
the
does take
full
you there.
details.
Okay.
Yep. It'll take
Yep.
me back to that master grid. And again, I can throw it into a journal and have a look at the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. So on my payment step of my pay run, this is the last step of my pay run. This is where I'm going to see my employee payments, my direct deposit, my checks, my fees that are going to be charged to me as the accountant. Now, if my client were to log in and put in their PIN, they would not see these fees. It has to be the master login on the accountant side to see the fees. Now, I purposely set this employee to direct deposit because I wanted to put in bank details to show you that audit log would show it, but I have to set them to check because I don't actually have a live bank account on this one.
Oh, got you. Right.
Okay. So I can review. I have one employee set to Quebec. So I've got all my Quebec taxes being calculated properly. And I'm going to say finish this pay run. It's always going to send my employee a notification. Hey, there's a new pay slip. Come and look at it. This is really important because if the employee has changed their bank details, or they have, they want to say, hey, you forgot those 10 hours or whatever it is, we want to do it as quickly as we want them to notify us as quickly as possible, notify you as the payroll provider as quickly as possible. For today, I'm going to turn this off because they go to fake emails and they're just going to bounce back. So
got ya.
And that's it. My payroll is completed. It's created a whole bunch of reports. It's got a whole series of things that are happening in the back end. If I made a mistake, I have a reverse button that I can undo it from one of my reports. So I have that feature set, the ability to reverse a pay run, stop a payment. It's all part of.
If you reverse a pay run, is that a request that goes back to Payment Evolution, or is that something we have total control of?
You have total control over it unless it's in a different payroll year. At that point, then you need to talk to us. But anything that is in this current calendar year, you can reverse. If payments are still have not been made either to the employee or CRA, it will recall the funds as well. So it stops the payment. Like, you don't have to interact with us at all.
Okay.
The only thing to keep in mind is if you do it after the employees are paid, after CRA is paid, you're not getting any money back, but the data will be correct. And you would have to work directly with CRA and the employee to get the money back.
Okay. Got you. Yep.
Because I know we're slow on time, I do want to do a quick jump into business payments
Sure.
and just walk you through this really quickly. My video today has Xero with it because it shows really the full integration really
Sure.
nicely.
Okay.
So our business payments feature is, as I mentioned, it allows you to pay vendors outside of payroll. So to do this in Xero, you go and you create a bill that you need to pay. And once you've created it, you approve it. And now it's ready for pay. So you go
So we
into
come back into Payment Evolution to pay
come
it.
back into Payment Evolution and you can do
Okay.
it from your main dashboard. You select business payments.
I have a quick question
Yeah,
because every other provider, you have to apply supplier credits before you come into the payment platform. Do you apply supplier credits or do I do that in Xero or QuickBooks or whatever first?
you do that in the accounting software.
Yeah.
We pull
Okay.
the invoice exactly as it is.
Yes. Okay. So apply vendor credits before we come in and pay bills here.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's standard. I just wanted to double check that. Okay.
Great. Okay. So you select who you want to pay. You tap or click pay, you enter your bank details, you enter the vendor's bank details, a notification email address that you want it to go to, and you say finish and pay or finalize and pay. Once you do that, the invoice is paid via direct deposit. It's auto reconciled right back to the accounting software in real time. And the vendor themselves receives an email that says, hey, so-and-so has paid you. It's going into this bank account on this date. And if you pay multiple bills, your invoice reference will include all of those references. So let's say you pay 10 invoices for the same vendor. It's all going to show on that email to the vendor that says, hey, they've just paid you this amount and it's for these invoices so that they can easily reconcile that payment when it comes in.
Okay, so if the bill came into Xero or QuickBooks through Receipt Bank Dex, why can't I can get used to it. I don't know. That was a slip. Comes in through Dex and there is an attachment. Does that attachment flow through to this that goes out to the vendor?
No.
Okay.
Great question.
And what about approval levels? What happens with approvers?
So approvals are done on the accounting software side.
Okay.
Okay. So we can't pull in invoices unless they are approved. And so the approvals are set up on the accounting software side. And then whoever has admin access over here can then pull in the approved invoices.
So somebody doesn't make the payments and then it goes to a second person for approval.
Correct.
Okay. Just checking.
Correct. There is a PIN option. So back to that PIN option. It allows you to set up a PIN just like you do for payroll. Right. And that way, like you could set it up as the accountant or bookkeeper. You could set this up and then have the client go in and put in the PIN and say, yep, pay these 10 people or whatever.
Oh, okay. So it does have an approval system.
Yeah. So it does have the same PIN system as as payroll does.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Last thing, I'm going to run out of this. And the last thing is I am going to show you a quick version of Paychecker. So this is what the employees will see. So this is a totally different employee from a different account, but he's my favorite that I always work with. Okay. So when an employee gets paid, they get a notification that there's a new pay slip. And so they log in here and this is what they see. And they can have full access to every pay slip that they've ever gotten. There's some nice visual representations. It switches from, yearly to current. You have the ability to, he's got $6 million in vacation. Yeah. This is a really lucky guy. You can scroll through, you can select different dates throughout the year. Maybe you're a pie chart person, maybe you're a visual graph type person. You really have all of the options. You've got all of your pay slips here. You've got a PDF if you want to grab it. And on the left-hand side, and this is where employees are invited to fill in their address information.
Got you.
And on the left-hand side, you also have your tax documents. So once your T4s are done, it pushes you right into there and allows you to, go and download your T4, select by year, and
Got ya.
grab the one that you need.
Okay, great.
Okay. I feel like there's like 20 more things I could show you, but I totally, I talked too much.
I talks too much. No, I talks too much. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we'll have another chance to run through this. Maybe we'll take a look at the HR component of it. Whatever, we'll figure that out. This was a great start for me getting to know more about payment evolution, and looks pretty cool. I'm
Awesome.
pretty darn excited, and away we go. So
Awesome.
thank you so much for doing the demo for me, Andrea. That was great.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I look forward to more interesting times to come with payment evolution.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. I really loved talking to you today. If any questions come up, please let me know. And I look forward to working with you.